I've been thinking a lot lately about how I find friendships to be meaningless and burdensome. Maybe it's because I'm an introvert, or maybe it's because of my personality, which according to 16 personalities is the INTJ, which is the architect type. One of the strongest characteristics of this personality type is confident individualism. So maybe that also contributed to the fact that I just like doing things on my own. But I think the major thing that contributes to me thinking that friendships are meaningless and burdensome is the fact that when I look at the toughest moments of my life, well, I have dealt with them on my own. So when I really sit down and think about it, I'm like, why would I need to have people in my life when I've always just dealt with the things that people would consider the toughest in life? If I was able to manage all of that individually, what would be the use of inviting people to my life then? The reason why people have friends in the first place is so that they can be there for each other. And of course, the hope is that your friends are there for you in the good times and the bad times. A lot of people get to really realize, shockingly, the people they consider to be their friends tend to not want to be with them in their bad moments. I think this is one of the reasons why I really don't understand this concept of friendship, because there's always this expectation that the other person is going to be there for you. So it's not like, I am going to be friends with this person just because I want to be there for them. There's always an expectation that it has to be symbiotic. I think that makes it a transaction, that makes it like a business, like you're offering a service. You're offering your time and your affection to this person while expecting that they're going to do the same for you. That sounds very much cannibalistic to me, and I think as human beings we're very much cannibalistic in that we're always thinking about ourselves, and we always just want to ensure that the people that are around us are in our service, whether it's something we are conscious of or not. And that's why you're always hearing people talking about, I'm gonna cut this person off because they were not there for me. It's cannibalistic. You are expecting that people are going to use their time and affection for you the same way that you're doing for them. That's why when it comes to this idea of friendship, it just doesn't make sense to me. What makes sense to me is just having a meaningful connection with someone, because I believe that as human beings we're always changing. So it means that even if you have a friend, at some point you're going to grow apart. Not everyone is growing or changing at the same time, because we're all going through different experiences in our lives that can just spark maybe gradual changes or big changes. For example, death of a parent or the death of a child just changes you in a way that other people cannot really fathom, and that can be very difficult for the people who have always known you, because now they have to reckon that you're a different person and they need to start learning about this new person that you are. Sometimes those people don't even like the person that you're becoming. Eventually this is just going to cause a lot of hurt, a lot of burdens, because now you're like, oh, my friend doesn't get me anymore. Your friend is like, oh, you've changed so much. But we're always going to be changing. That means that if you're committed to creating friendships in every stage of your life, eventually it becomes more painful because you have to leave more people behind. But I think it would be much easier on us if we are just pursuing, for example, a meaningful connection, meeting someone and connecting in that moment and being able to appreciate that moment, and not needing to recreate these meaningful connections every single day, every single month with this person. It can be a one-time thing, it can be something that you get to experience once a month. But I think it's important to be conscious and just be honest with yourself and say, I like when I'm doing some sort of thing with this person, perhaps like going to taste new food, new cuisines together, and that's it. That's how you create your connection together, to appreciate food, to appreciate the art of gastronomy. But it's really not about you, it's about celebrating how this one thing makes you feel. I think that is what I am really working towards more. I don't want to put people into a cage and be like, this is my friend, and I expect them to text me, I expect them to always want to know how I'm doing, because I really don't care about such things. Something that I'm really interested in is a snack break, because I'm tired of talking, and this amazing mandazi that I actually made is a wonderful snack. You won't believe what I'm actually watching right now. Not one, not two, but 4 series at once. There is the Liberation Notes, Thank You Next, Signal, and Bridgerton. Liberation Notes and Signal are both K-dramas. Liberation Notes is a mellow kind, I mean, it's like a slice of life, I would say. And then Signal is a crime thriller. Ooh, I love me some crime thrillers. Thank You Next is a Turkish series about dating. Then Bridgerton, which obviously about Bridgerton. La Chronique de Bridgerton. And it's actually yesterday that I realized that, oh my god, I'm interacting with different languages on a day-to-day basis. I watch Korean shows, and then there's the Turkish show, and then obviously an English show, and I speak in English as I am right now. Also speak Swahili with my family members. I sometimes also speak my mother tongue with family members or some other people in the village. And then I also speaking in French sometimes, parce que je dois pratiquer le français, donc beaucoup de fois je regarde les vidéos sur YouTube en français. Parfois je parle en moi-même en français pour que je n'arrive pas à oublier ce langue. And then currently I'm learning German. Ich lerne Deutsch. Ich heiße Japkoish Kindergarten. You can imagine those are 7 languages I'm interacting with on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Actually make that 9 because I listen to Spanish music, I listen to Hindi music, and I have playlists. Oh my god. I truly believe this is one of the things that makes me sort of abnormal in other people's eyes, because you can imagine I'm getting different points of view about life on a day-to-day basis. Because one thing that I've really learned about languages is that the language that you speak actually shapes your worldview. And I just like that I'm the kind of person who's just open to, you know, experiencing different worlds. I'm always just interested in other people's cultures, and this is also one of the reasons why I find a lot of people to be very boring, because a lot of people are not curious about anything. I mean, there's so many people who are always like, oh my god, how can you watch a show with subtitles? Yes, if I'm watching a Korean show, I will watch it in the original Korean version and have English subtitles. Something like Bridgerton, I'm actually watching it in English but with French subtitles. So I always find it so weird with people who are not interested in other people's cultures, because I'm like, what? Do you think you live on an island interacting with 9 languages almost on a daily basis? Wow. I'm cool. You know, someone once told me that spending time with me is an adventure. Something else that I've been thinking about lately is art, and this really reminds me so much of France. And because one of the things that I really liked while in France is the fact that you can just go to any museum whenever you want, and for most museums it's actually free. You get to have so much art at your disposal. One of the places I really liked going to was the library near where I was living. They would have expositions, exhibitions, whether it's photography on a monthly basis. And then I started thinking about, why not start looking for art around you? And actually, definitions of art in the dictionary is the making or expression of what is beautiful. And that means that you can find the expression of beauty in everything, especially around you. The past me would be like, I'm in the village, nothing is beautiful. But when I wake up in the morning and I see the blue skies and the greenery, my goodness. And especially here, because we don't have any air pollution, so everything is just so crisp, so clear. It just feels refreshing. It just makes me smile. I'm like, wow, it's beautiful to be alive. And I look at the clouds and, you know, the different patterns that clouds make, and it just gets different throughout the day. There's nothing more that I could ask for. Or it could be a day like yesterday while I was watching the sunset, and then there's always something special that happens sometimes. I call it the rainbow clouds. It's when a section of the clouds in the sky take on the colors of the rainbow, but in a lighter shade. Light green, light yellow, light blue, light violet, light pink, light orange. It's the most beautiful thing. I tried to take a video, but I don't think that they show very clearly because my phone is not that powerful yet. Then at the same time, I was just looking at the clouds that from a distance gives the illusion of a spaceship, and you're like, wow, this is art. Art is also the feathers of a bird that have been left behind by a cat that devoured that bird. Black feathers. But when you look closely, there's a little shimmer of green Art is also just standing outside while basking in the morning sun, and then suddenly I look towards my corner and I see this blue drum, and it feels as if I am watching an art show, a free art show with water and light and shadows all coming together to just give you this wonderful performance. Makes me think, how can I dare dream about being in a museum when I have such a beautiful show? This is beauty, an expression of beauty, an expression of singularity, and also an expression of multiplicity. What more can I ask for? So now I'm pursuing the glory of everyday art. I hope that you also become the kind of person that appreciates what you have in the moment and that is curious about what you have around you.